welcome to another Fix-It-Yourself video. In this video, you will learn how to repair a Samsung or Kenmore front load washer by replacing the spider arm assembly and or the inner tub bearings. So this is our front load washing machine, Kenmore Elite Steam AST, and looks like the bearing is shot on it. So that's something else we got to fix now. You can see here how this whole drum moves. It's supposed to roll nice and easy, but it doesn't. It's just a disaster, and it's wrecked all the rubber over here because it's been rubbing on it. So it's time to change this bearing. You can see how it moves here. It shouldn't be moving like this. That bearing is shot. Actually, we're going to change both bearings. I purchased the bearings online. Here, one bearing here, second bearing here, you can see, and this is the seal, the rubber seal that goes on there. So it's two different size bearings and a rubber seal. That's what we're gonna be replacing. So we'll get to it and we'll go step by step. I guess the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the power, which I've already done. I've disconnected the hot and water supply, and then we'll pull the unit out and start removing the panels and so on, and get to it. Okay, we'll follow us along step by step, and we'll take you through this fix. So we've removed the machine from the wall, and back here we're going to take off those two screws holding the top panel. And then we'll get to the next step, okay? Remove the cover. Remove this bearing, okay? Pause. You'll need a 8mm socket to remove the bolts here on the door. So we'll just get that ready to come off. And then the bottom one. that's it. Next we have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4 screws at the top to remove the front panel, plus these additional screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly these screws here. Okay, so we're going to start now. Carefully spin this around. So here's the problem I discovered. It's not really the bearing, it's the actual shaft that sits inside the bearing that pull the shaft out. But look, this part that's connected to this bracket is completely rotted out. This was sitting in here, and this thing is completely broken off, all rotted. So I need to buy this whole new bracket and replace that bracket and put it back and reassemble it, because the bearing still appears to be running very smoothly both sides, so nothing wrong with the bearing. Okay, we'll have to continue this once I get the new part. This is my Kenmore Elite washer. After purchasing the bearings, because I thought that's what was the problem, it turns out it was not the bearings. They seem to be fine. It's actually this whole spider arm, what they call the spider arm, this bracket that actually mounts onto the drum. It was completely corroded, and apparently that was from the detergent and lint that builds up and gets into all these openings here. You can see it all here. All this stuff builds up in there, and you're supposed to clean your washer with some special tablets or washing to clean all this stuff out every month or every 30 cycles, wash cycles, and we never did that. So that's something that we're going to start doing from now on. I bought this new bracket to replace this. I ended up having to buy the exact part to make sure that it fit. I tried something different that didn't have all these ribs where stuff could accumulate. I thought that would be a better solution, but unfortunately that shaft was a bit too long and it wouldn't have been compatible with my washer. So I went to a place called Reliable Parts. It's the part number is DC97-15491A, and here you can see I purchased that part. It's the exact same part, and there's my invoice, and that was for $187.18 plus HST, so my total was $211.51. But it doesn't come with the mounting hardware, so I ended up having to buy those separate, and they were like $6 a piece. So altogether this ends up costing me about $250 to fix. So let's remove all these old parts and we'll put the new one on and see if it fits, and we'll get that now on there. So let's get this guy on here, and we'll see that this is a perfect fit. It's a bit of a tight fit, so I'll have to kind of push it in there and then put the new hardware to secure it in place. And again, I ended up having to buy that hardware separately because 4 out of the 6 mounting screws broke. I have them here. You can see the mounting screws all broke off. And there we go. So there's one of the broken ones, and here's one of the good ones. I won't put the new one, the old ones that didn't break, because in the process of pulling them off I might have weakened them, and I don't want to have them break on me. So I purchased them all brand new, and I will install all the brand new hardware on there. Okay, let's see how that all works out, and then we'll continue with the reinstallation and putting everything back together. One other thing is the old spider arm had a rubber washer, which this one has, and it also had this little ring on it, it seemed to have. So I took that ring off. It doesn't seem to come with the new one, so I'm just putting that one over top of where the other one was. I think that one rides on the bearing. I'm going to leave that also on there. the bearing here, this is one of the bearings. This is a smaller bearing on the end of the shaft. This is where the motor connects. So this bearing seems to be fine, and so too does the other one. We'll have a look at that now. So you can see that the inside bearing also seems to be running fairly good. It's not loose at all. And so I'm going to just leave those bearings in place rather than replace them. So I've brought all the drum and the internal drum outside to wash it. It's pretty dirty. You can actually also see some wear on some of the parts here, like up around here where the drum was, once that bracket broke, it wasn't riding smooth, and you can see some of the wear on the rubber here, kind of broke off. But it seems to be fair enough intact that I'm probably not going to replace this. This is a $200 part, and it's easily replaceable afterwards anyways. So if it ever does become a problem, I can always change it. But I'm going to wash both of these now in the outside drums. I'm just going to be careful not to get too much water over the bearings. Also here you can see some wear. This part was actually touching on the, it looks like over here on this area where it was kept touching on the inside part of the drum, so there was some interference there once that part broke. Anyway, we'll wash these up now and we'll put it all back together. So with the drum, inside drum and the outer drum housings all washed up nice, I'm preparing to put the new bracket on, you see there, with all the bolts, and I'll put those on soon. And just prepared also the bearing. I didn't change the bearings. They looked like they were in great shape, so I left the bearings in, and you can see I just applied a little bit of lithium grease on the inside race, and just white lithium grease, and I put a little bit also inside between the bearing and the seal there, and just packed it in there, and hopefully if any water gets in it won't get around the grease and that. Okay, let's get ready to reassemble the spider arm. We'll fasten it, and then we'll get it inserted back into the drum and reassemble the drum. Just got a reassembler that goes inside here. So this guy goes in there. So we have to line this up correctly. Make sure we get that going in there. Screw it in place, okay? Reassemble, so put all the screws back in. Start from this side. Work your way around. Put all the screws back in. Okay, come around here. Ready? Okay. Next, you just tighten them all up. And then last tighten. Okay. Now over here on this side. And now the last one. That's it. We're going to connect here. Okay. Okay. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your repair.